Welcome to the Mixed Reviews, episode 6, The Real Secret Housewives of Skinwalker Ranch. At Skinwalker Ranch, they have a lot of visitors come out and visit them. Mostly we're used to people coming in overalls or in t-shirt sets from Target. This time, though, when we have the Housewives out at Salt Lake City edition, when we have them out, it's just, I get giggly. I get a little, I don't know. They do something to me. Those ladies do. They are just so fabulously dressed and outfitted. Their hair, their makeup, they're just lovely. Royalty, really, our housewives are the royalty of America. Makes me a little nervous to review them. What can you say about those ladies? So fabulous and beautiful and wealthy. It does make me nervous. Oh. Our first scene, we're at the command center. Oh, so nervous I forgot to introduce you to our set. That is really rude of me. I sometimes forget myself. Okay, so this is our set. Looked up a set of Skinwalker Ranch, just so that you can understand the storylines and follow along with us at home. Command Center, this is where a lot of things take place. They have some really groovy green lights in there that make it feel very spooky and uncomfortable. We have Homestead 1, more than just a rat's nest. Homestead 2, which has recently come back on the market, I'm understanding, as the roof did. Open Breezy Airspace is back on the market and available. Contact Brandon Frugal if you would like. Also, I understand Dragon might also be doing some of the grunt work for this. He is Brandon's lackey. So that's Homestead 2, enough. The Triangle, which is really the brainchild of the entire ranch. We haven't delved into the Triangle too much at this point. Later episodes, seasons even, the Triangle becomes increasingly important. Right now it's just a piece of dirt. We also have the Mesa. The Mesa is going to be exceptionally important in this episode, so keep your eye on this. Having it snow-capped was an error in judgment. No, you're going to understand this episode, so stop saying those snarky things. It's uncalled for. Okay, so we're at the command center in our opening scene, watching on monitors. It's Eric. He is voyeuristic in that command center. He likes to watch the people. Where is Eric? Oh my goodness. And the people from last episode that just don't even matter this time.
Got Eric.
Okay, Eric. So let's put Eric in the command center. Eric is being a little creepy watching Tom Winterton, who is not currently in the command center. He is out on the ranch installing these wonderful new security assets. I've got Tom.
But how?
Oh, yeah, that's true. He
has this hat.
We got a very nasty letter from Tom's lawyer for misrepresenting hatless versus hatted Tom. I'm sorry. We're doing our best. So Tom is out on the ranch installing the new security apparatus assets. Cameras. Eric is watching. That's all that we have of that scene. It was kind of a throwaway scene. I didn't understand it at the beginning, but it's going to come back to haunt them. So keep that in your... now you know that information, so let's not forget it, okay? Right, so let's take them away. We're going to cut to Candy, the former anthropology salesperson. She didn't make her commissions all the time, so they went in a different direction. Where is Candy? Oh, here she is. Okay. Here is Candy, our former anthropology clerk. She's with Tom.
They're driving her.
She's with her hookup, Tom. And they are driving.
Counting cows.
Their job is very technical. They have been assigned the task of counting each cow. I understand there might be upwards towards a dozen. So you can see how this could be a very time-consuming, very arduous task. Jen, however, has decided to put on her mask of malevolence. Once again, pretends to be the bad guy when she's really just an angel on the inside. It is a mask. It's a mask of malevolence. I find it unattractive, but Jen thinks it's helpful. She is still that fierce competition for the Mrs. Utah. Jen She was just in a foul mood. She was upset still about the remarks that, where is she? That Mary over here, Sweet Mary, was making about her amputated uncle. Aunt's ancestor.
Uncle?
And so
Conjoined.
Jen's just in a real foul mood, so she's messing with these two, and she went and stomped around and scared the cattle, kind of herded them all into the corner, and they're all cowering. And Candy and the other Tom B, not terribly bright, they thought that there was some paranormal anomaly going on, when it turns out it was just Jen being in a real foul mood. Whole hospital nonsense. And we spend a lot of time on that hospital nonsense, but I tell you, we're going to have to spend more and more time on it because it's going to continue to be a theme going forward in this show. That's what that is. That was that scene. Candace says some stuff, but really it wasn't that important, so we don't pay any mind to it, really. Just understand that this was all Jen and her malevolence. I think she might have even brought some dancers from Tonga to facilitate with this. Now we're outside of Travis's trailer is the next scene, because that scene, we're done with it. The next scene, we're in Travis's trailer. Eric and Dragon and the PhD and Tom Winterton and Meredith's husband makes a show. I'm sorry guys, we did not have time to print his likeness, but we're running really behind, so let's hurry and get these people up here.
Tom.
We've got Eric, Tom, the other PhD.
His husband.
Meredith's husband, which we don't really have represented, so don't worry about that. We'll put Meredith up for giggles. To represent. It's the Hatted.
Oh.
Tom the Hat. They're all outside with Meredith's husband. Works at Qualtech. The sheriff of
Here he is.
The sheriff of the place shows up with his phone again. Meredith's husband is just dying to look through his phone. He has this thing, he wants to always look through people's phones, and Caleb says, no, that's okay, dude, my phone's freaking out. It has this tendency, and
it's broken.
Anyway, that went on for far too long, and it was very annoying. Then Whitney, out of nowhere, says, you know what, I think what we really need is a ski day. Let's just forget about all this nonsense here on the ranch. I'm going to have some guys come in, truck in some snow. Heather chimes in and says it is probably the best snow on earth. Truck it into the mesa, and they're going to have themselves a wonderful ski day. It's going to be team building and bonding at its best. We'll have opportunities to display their best outfits. They're going to turn the mesa into a gigantic day at the slopes, and everybody is very happy for that, except for the people who are not. They go instead to Homestead 2 to scan for radiation. Lisa's with them. She heard through the grapevine that, where's Lisa? Let's show who Lisa is.
There she is.
Lisa is also, there's competition for the Miss Utah. She gets ahead of herself. She thinks of herself already as Miss Universe. You have to win Miss Utah first, Lisa. Silly. While the rest of them are skiing, Lisa and some of the other fellas go over to Homestead 2 to do some more measuring of radiation. They have their tricorders and camcorders, reactor fields, and Geiger counters. Feel like I need to be useful here. It takes a moment for this one to warm up, I tell you what. Once it gets going, it almost counts some Geigers. They're doing this, and Lisa's paying particular attention to how they're using their instrumentations. Lisa has been told by Whitney that her bartenders suck. Lisa is in terrible fear that she is going to lose her business, her Tequila Vida local business. She is watching as these people use their instrumentations, thinking, I bet the skills translate to bartending skills, and maybe there wouldn't be so many gosh darn broken glasses at all the events who then throw it back in her face. She's out there searching for bartenders. She's looking a little crazy in her eyes. It's not a great look. Meanwhile, Meredith's husband, Paul Tech, continues to search and can't find any radiation, but he thinks he can find some if he looks in Meredith's phone. Meredith says that's just creepy, and I don't want to talk about this. Let's just keep things light. Let's go skiing.
Ski.
She storms off and goes skiing. We're going to cut to a new scene. Clear some of the playing field out.
Okay. So
of this scene. How are we doing on time? Well, Okay, I feel very rushed. We cut now to Tom. Which Tom? I wonder. Tom and Best.
This.
Tom Winterton?
Tom
This would be
Winterton.
Tom Winterton.
Tom.
And I bet he has his hat on. Tom Hat.
Yes, Tom Hat.
Tom Hat and Jim Vesti.
And they're up.
We're at Homestead 1. Sorry, guys. We did not mean to confuse here.
Got it.
What they're going to be doing is bringing new animals onto the ranch, wanting to see how they're going to acclimate to the ranch and see what shenanigans they might bring with them. They're a new type of animal that Travis has never heard of, quite frankly. Jen is there also.
Right.
Jen's there overseeing it. Now, Candy, because she has a background in retail with her anthropology work, Candy was in charge of procuring these animals, the order. Boy, a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. Isn't that what they say, hun? Candy does have a little bit. When she ordered these animals, there was some confusion. She thought she was ordering Australopithecus, which would be quite a triumph, Jurassic Parkism to be able to bring that back, lady.
Even Amazon.
I'm not even sure if Jurassic Park could have brought back. I mean, they can bring back dinosaurs, but I don't know that they could bring back Australopithecus. That's a whole different ballpark there, guys. Candy, bless her little anthropology heart, thought that she was ordering some Australopithecus. She was really ordering with some alpacas. Travis had never heard of either one of them, which is really shocking. This has neither heard of Australopithecus nor alpacas, and he's trying to convince Candy that he thinks that maybe she did do the right thing, that an alpaca is a shortened name for Australopithecus.
Yes.
So Candy starts to calm down and feels a little bit better about her pick. Certainly are exotic animals who have never been to this ranch before. They think it'll be an interesting observational opportunity. What, if anything, can happen to these animals while they're on the ranch? And we don't know. Something will happen because, gosh darn it, that's what happens on this ranch. Bringing the innocent to go to the slaughter. Okay. Finally, the drill arrives. This is something that is very important to some members. Remember, a couple episodes back, we had them aligned in factions, the Diggers and the Dummers. Diggers finally have, hurrah, hurrah, finally you Diggers, you did it. Common sense prevailed, and now you can dig on the gosh darn ranch. Drill arrives, and we're going to dig over at Homestead 2. Dragon is very upset, noticeably upset, about this turn of tables. Does not like it at all. He is absolutely one of the dummers. Tom, also a dumber. Actually, I think it's fair to represent Tom this way, in this one. Because Tom, he sees the drill and instant trauma, throws off his hat in a most dramatic fashion. He starts to stomp about. He starts to rock back and forth and hold his head. And he finally says, guys, I can't take it anymore. And see him running down the road in a very Forrest Gump kind of manner. I believe he ran all the way into town, might have even run all the way to Salt Lake. I don't know. He ran and ran and ran and ran. It was very Gumponian indeed.
Suspicious.
That happened. Meredith and Lisa and Heather, they get out of the drilling rig. They are actually the ones who facilitated this. Meredith, Lisa, and Heather. They're very capable women, these ones. Men have been trying and trying to get things digging for what seems like weeks, months, years, and it takes a lady. Where the crap is Lisa? We're having a real Lisa problem.
Did she go home?
You know, Lisa is
There's Whitney.
one of my least favorite. Oh, there she is. Because she pulls these antics. She just wants to be noticed. And I'm getting tired of her crap. Lisa, your farts do in fact stink. Meredith, Lisa, and Heather, they get out of the drilling rig and they begin to listen to Travis about cutting down the trees, arborism. He's a real activist, and Tom had to cut down some trees in order for the drill to come in. And you see, here is a dilemma here, because Tom is one of the dummers who doesn't want to dig. Travis is one of the diggers who does want to dig. Yet Tom does what it takes to get it done, to get digging. And Travis, meanwhile, complains about doing what it takes to get done to get it digging. These boys, they really are with their drama. Non-stop with their drama. I think they're competing with the ladies at this point.
Okay, so we need Tom up here.
It's anyone's guess who's going to win.
Oh, Tom left. He ran.
So Lisa starts wagging her finger, says, I have a very successful tequila company, and I'm going to be gosh darned if I'm going to be lectured by the likes of you. Now, lines are drawn. Girls versus boys. It is on like Donkey Kong. I think that's a saying. Okay, they begin to drill, and this is where the ladies leave. Anyway, we go now back to the command center, because they drill and drill, and they count some Geigers, and they don't ever find anything. It's not really all that interesting.
No.
So we go to the command center.
Nobody's there. It's empty. Eric might be pooping.
Candace and lowercase Tom and Caleb. What? I don't understand. We're going to have to cut for just a moment here, folks. While they're trying to impress people with... Oh, they cut to vest. I think I misplaced where the ski trip was. I think the ladies came and went from... they haven't actually gone to the ski trip.
No.
Okay, they were making snow. I got a little confused, guys. I'm sorry. When the ladies left the drill rig, they went up to the mesa to go skiing. And they're trying to impress everybody with all their new ski gear. Some of it might actually be made out of alpacas. So then we go to Candy and Tom and Caleb and the alpacas over at Homestead 1. Caleb, where's Candy? Candy's over there. They're looking at the alpacas. Candy has a real sour puss on her face. It comes out in one of the soliloquies that she's really upset that the ladies didn't invite her to go skiing and she was left behind with the boys. She doesn't understand quite why this happened. But I'll tell you, I know exactly why it happened. It wasn't said, but I know these ladies very well. They don't like Candy because she smells like dirty hippie. Sad situations to watch. Candy not being invited once again to hang out with the pretty girls. Take a shower, Candy. The ladies get done with their ski trip. We're going to go to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant in town.
Right.
But they did not take into account that restaurants close up at 5:30. And by the time they were done with their hair and their makeup, it was like 9:30 at night. They had to take their to-go boxes and sit in the command center and eat. The entire crew was present at the table, except for Dragon. He was off to the side, sitting in his lawn chair. He was still very upset about all of the drilling that has taken place and all of, well, can I say it? The disrespect. The disrespect that he still feels. By the way, people went right back to calling him Dragon. No respect. Man just can't win on the ranch.
Cannot.
Everybody's talking and blaming one another for not taking care of the alpacas, and it's kind of a mess. I think my notes are out of order. I think that's what happened.
No, I don't think they're out of order. We need to riff more just on the dinner because that's the end.
Because I have this page that I never talked about. See,
Yep.
your pages aren't out of order,
they
but
were,
my pages are out of order.
They got out of order.
So we missed a few scenes, guys. Missed a scene where Mary, bless her heart, before the drilling takes place. So let's go back. Let's rewind. Mary is at Homestead 2 saying a blessing before the drill. She does this ceremony where she speaks in tongues. Mm-hmm. She gathered up some old cigarette butts from when the gals were hanging out smoking, off camera, of course. She picked up all of the cigarette butts. You can actually play a fun game of matching the cigarette butt, the lipstick color to the ladies. It's kind of funny. It's a fun game. She scattered the cigarette butts all around. She spoke in tongues, said a basic blessing. Ranch would be protected and all those on it be protected. I don't think Tom took a lot of stock in it. That's why he ran off holding his head and ran on into town, Forrest Gump style.
She only prayed to protect them from bad room service.
Now this is all making more sense. The alpacas did get attacked. The cameras were down mysteriously at the time that it happened, but they were attacked.
Coincidentally.
PETA is looking into the situation. PETA believes that they did, in fact, bring the alpacas onto Skinwalker Ranch just as bait for the anomaly to attack. And when anomalies attack, sometimes alpacas are collateral damage, I guess. In the eyes of Brand, I think it was really a cruel thing, and I hope that PETA does get to the bottom of this investigation. We will be handing off this portion of the investigation to them. I don't really want to spend more time talking about the attack. It was vicious and cruel and unnecessary. I'm sorry, alpacas. The entire crew is, the ladies have their pathetic little swan wrapped to-go packages because the restaurant's closed. Mm-hmm. They all look very glamorous as they're sitting around.
Okay, let's
they're
get
so
everyone
beautiful.
up there.
We have Whitney.
Everybody's here.
Whitney was there. Issa was there.
This is the dinner.
Meredith
after the
is
trip.
there. Corner Dragon put himself in the corner. Eric. Travis was there, certainly.
Here's Eric.
Tom came back from his run. It's fine now.
Brandon
Travis is up here.
wasn't invited. Was PH dud?
No, I don't think he was there. We're all talking, blaming each other for the alpaca
Big
mishap.
A lot of staring. A lot of
staring down. First, Whitney started blaming Lisa for having bad bartenders and then trying to come to the ranch and breaking glass, but also trying to snipe away some of their best workers on the ranch, taking them for her own businesses, for her own use. Whitney didn't think that that was very ethical of her. He laid that all on Lisa's door. Heather, can you find Heather for me, honey?
Right.
Heather, she also got very upset about some old wounds that she suffered from Lisa. Their BYU days, they were in the dorms. There was some times when they would flash each other their boob. Hello, I acknowledge you, I see you. One day they stopped doing that. And they barely just, kind of did the head. And before you know it, they weren't even doing that. Heather laid this on Lisa's door and said, we used to be so close. We used to flash each other every time we saw each other. Now we act like we don't even know each other. And it's very hurtful. Friendship to just nothing. Then Travis chimes in. I don't even think you know the first thing about the scientific method. Ever since you've been here, my science has been shoddy, unoriginal. Since you've been here, our instruments have started working. We much prefer our instrumentations to fail. And Jen said, wait a minute, have you guys all forgotten the trauma, the terrible trauma that I have suffered at the hands of Mary? And finally, Lisa picks up her swan and she says, listen, I can take it and I can take it and I can take it. And I'll just say right now, I'm sorry to all of you. Looks like I've hurt everybody. I am sorry. When really it should be Meredith, because we find out that she and her husband are separated. Meredith was hoping that everybody would forget that little factoid while they're throwing shade at Lisa. Look, we've got to have one of the ones with the straight brown hair in to represent. That's kind of where they leave us this time. We have come once again to the time where I have to shamelessly beg for you to like and subscribe. Maybe share a few links. It wouldn't kill you. But nevertheless, we do try our best. I love to give them a thumbs down because, I dislike these ladies tremendously. I think they are selfish and shallow and petty. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. But I think on this one, I'm just going to stay horizontal. Gangster thumb. That's me.
This episode was pointless. I would consider this the third song of the B-side of the tape.
Yeah. In some clever edit. Don't know what they were doing, and I don't think they really fully understood, in fact, what they were doing. That's all the time we have for today, folks. So we will see you with our next round later.